You are listening to Let's Go, the weekly anime podcast about weekly anime from Dynamite in the Brain and Secret of the Sailor Madness. So come along and hang with the Let's Go gang. It's Dwayne.
Hello.
It's Niall.
Harry.
And it's me, Brian. And in this episode, we are covering anime that aired the week of May the 6th to May the 12th, 2024, starting with two things I didn't watch, so I'm going to shut the fuck up. As
We should space them out. We should put
Finish
them
your
in later.
magnum.
Dwayne Niall, tell me all about. First of all, Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night. Episode 5, viewer comments. I will listen and see if I can guess when they finish talking so I can introduce the next bit.
You mean you won't listen? Like the thing with the show, right? It's like cute girls doing, I guess like industry startup things. But I keep worrying about it. It's like, is it going to do another creep shot? Is it going to do another fucking thing? Then it talks about like the burnout from one fucking shitty YouTube comment or one shitty comment on your feed or one dipshit coming into your fucking timeline and just ruining your whole fucking day. And I'm just like, oh yeah, I know that feeling.
This is it. This is something you would empathize with any one of us. It's like a little something we have to call brain poison.
Yeah, and the other part of it being it's a two-thing one, because that happens to her. There's one comment on it, and basically the comment is related to the it's
all the fun is they've gone like, you know, it's a sensation, but only because check it out, that song is curve song on YouTube. And so it's like I was trying to think, what the fuck are they talking about right there, like whatever, because it shows last 5 seconds. What did you want to put up 5 seconds? One said no. I guess when they're recording it, they caught on mic. Kano's sister just moping about her latest breakup drunkenly in her bed. So it sounds like, help you, something, some kind of haunted video. So it's like they've gotten attention, but not for the way they intended. But it's still a good song though until the end, when it gets kind of creepy. But it's still a good song.
Right at the end, like it seems like just a nice pop song. You get lots of positive comments, like, yeah, no, the song's really decent. And then it's like, man, the ghost that comes in is like, I'm dying. This is what dying feels like. And like at the end is like, fucking hell, that was weird. I don't know what that one bit was about. Why did they put that in? They're like, I mean, like, we got attention. That's the important fucking like all exposure is good exposure in terms of starting up our thing, and to the point where they're even getting like fan art of the jelly mascot character.
Yeah. And it's like an well-known artist. It's like, oh, cool, because like Yoru has a little fantasy from getting the gear up and saying, I'm just sketching on the tablets and down the old harp tech section here, and you know, a little thinking of one day I could be like, hey, check it out, is that Yoru from Artist Collected Jelly in our shop? Yes, it is. She's just like, shush now, you didn't see me.
So she has these aspirations of like, fuck, maybe one day I'll make it and also be able to afford one of these Wacom tablets. Wow, imagine the time then.
I know, it's a small dream, but it's mine.
But it's the idea that this one person has said a shitty comment is like, the art's a bit amateur though, and that's like digging into her fucking head like the brain worm. And the other part of it is that this fan art of their character is made by a more established artist. It's getting more views and likes, a lot of attention. It's like, you should do a collab with Jelly, the group.
You should do the art.
Yeah, and that's the way she's taken it. It's basically it's the thing of, as a creative, like you see other creatives, you can see other creatives as competing with you when you're all just kind of working your own fucking shit. Like you don't need to think of it that way. And it's this thing of both feeling bad about her art not being as good as a professional, and also there being people who are better than her in her eyes. Because I mean, like, obviously your one's kind of insistent, it's like, you're the artist I want for this fucking thing. You're my artist on this fucking thing. That I don't want to collaborate with anyone else as we are.
Yeah. It's just like they keep, like, you know, like Ken in particular coming back to fun and saying, "Hey, look, fun. You're telling me now I'm just anybody. Like, you know, you could have got anybody. Fun saying, I could have got anybody, but I wanted you to do the art, like, you know, and that's like a good way to kind of prepare it. But she keeps coming back to it. She keeps that fucking tab open with the fucking other thing on her phone all the time, and keeps checking it, and it's just
the views on the fucking fan art, and it's just like, no, that's bad. Fucking put that shit away. No, block that shit if you need to.
And fucking, like, you know, like, she's not being kind of completely upfront. It's when, like, you know, kind of catches her down on a train. I think she got off and saying, I knew you were fucked up. Okay, what's actually going on, you know? And she's just like, you know, you can see there's other people in our corner fun, like, fun saying, yeah, they see something in me, like, like I'm strong, but he's people who seem more competent than I. But he does like what you're meant to do with fun that, and you just fucking use it. He's fun saying, you had it fun saying, fuck them. I know what I'm good at, and I'll get better at it. In fact, fuck them. He's just like she's kind of can't see, gets up and still kind of weeping and fun saying, "Go fucking show them by fun." Like spite can be a powerful motivator as well.
Oh, spite is anger fucking tempered is fucking excellent to keep yourself and your loved ones and everything you care about like right. But like spite is a fantastic motivator to artistic success, personal fucking growth, and that kind of shit. And it's like take that hatred that's eating you inside and use it to force you to do work. Like use it to make you fucking do better and do work that your friends and people appreciate. Because the thing is, like, the video was doing well. The art was being complimented. It was one shitty compliment. And another artist drawing your character shows that, wow, I guess my character design skills are good enough that much better, more established, more, I assume, lucrative artist than me wants to draw my fucking character. It's like, I'm doing really good in that case. It's hard to see that. So it's just like turn it into spite. It's like, fuck them. I'm gonna fucking do it anyway. No one can stop me.
It's always that thing when you put that internet yourself out there, and people respond to it because they like it and they genuinely like really like you for it as well. You're thinking, yeah, but they liked it, but there's probably some kind of fucking qualifying fun thing there or some kind of string attached to it. You just can't like use this is in ourselves just presume that it can't be for me. They can't like me for me. No. It's gotta be that they must want something out of me or some other kind of qualifying statement for them. And say no, it's just could be as simple as that, man. It can be as simple as that. But fucking, again, it's fucking brain poison. Everyone can't get this way. They can give this advice to anybody else in their fucking life and never take it themselves. We've all fucking done that.
The realness of just a shitty comment or like comparing yourself negatively to another artist, like it's like that's very fucking understandable stuff. Like even if you're not an artist, like if you see someone more successful doing the thing that you do, you're just like, that son of a bitch. And it's easy to fucking let that, like you said, now brain fucking rot you, just completely destroy you. And she kind of pulls out of it, and she doesn't like go like, I have bettered myself and I no longer feel about this thing. She's still angry about it, but it's focusing that anger into something productive.
I'm hitting the books, I'm taking art classes, I'm gonna do everything, like, I want to like really fucking home my crafts this fun and say, yeah, cool, it's fucking New Year's, you've turned the corner, we've drawn good luck, except for May, she's gonna try it again. I'm gonna get some like pork balls as Kiwi. It's like, hey, when I'm going, just want to catch up on this stuff and saying, man, fucking like, you like me for my art, but I like all of you for what you do. I like you kind of for what you do. If I like you, if you as well, it's like, oh yeah, and having this nice little kind of moment. And then I was just gonna go over and make it awkward by a little kiss on the cheek, for saying, whoa, we're hitting like the little kind of warm sake there, little hard, were we? It's just like, I'm just gonna go get some pork bowl as well. I'll be right back. And
so that was definitely the cute
we're going so well.
I know that was the cute girl thing. That was just like, yeah, okay, watch out for that stuff, because the actual like the other stuff, I was just like, I am on board for everything about this. And that bit is just like, you trying to make me attracted to small children, because that's not going to fucking happen. Show it.
No, that's not. No. This bit that you mentioned is very bad. That was a very kind of chaste little kind of pick on the cheek. Come on, it's just okay. But now we've got on an even keel. We're getting the fun viewers together. We also have this kind of dream we're going to share everyone. The stupid little thing we met in an aquarium, or a lovely aquarium. It wasn't one in Shibuya where we had first met. Let's say we make it big. I'm going to make an aquarium in Shibuya. Fucking yeah, I swear on it, man. We're going to do it. And now it's got to make it all kind of really awkward by doing that.
Yeah. And I did like the end song as well, where because she was hitting the books and she was working really hard. Her sending the images is like, oh fuck, I'm gonna write a song about this, and the song is like literally about like their feelings towards this. In the episode is like, I want to raise you up. It's all about the equivalent of the lyrics being, I really like your art. It's real cool and inspires me. And I was just like, that's good. I like that's in there. It's a nice touch.
Let's kind of monitor this as it goes forward. Is what I'm saying. This is such a lyric going, will you go out with me? YN. It's like, what?
YN. Yeah.
Just talk about me. I think it's about me and you. I don't know. I kind of one relay thing now because we've kind of gotten through them all. Hadn't got on to you. You've been a little too kind of sensibility. What's happening with you? Nothing. Don't this way, please. So can't keep this little thing going on.
Then that sounds like a pause, which means I can read out the next bit, which is now you're going to tell me all about Kaiju number 8, episode 4, Fortitude 9.8. Now, I suspect that possibly in 2 to 3 weeks' time, I will have time to start watching Kaiju number 8, because I suspect one of the things we're talking about is ending in 2 episodes' time. But for now, tell me what happened in Fortitude 9.8.
Well, it won't take you long. You're reading the comic, aren't you, Brian?
Yeah. I am, yes.
So it won't take you long to catch up at all.
No. And it's a kind of remainder of this test. It was like, yeah, I'm setting up my broken leg. We're gonna do it. It's like, okay. Fucking Reno, I can piggyback. I'll do the shooting up here.
They use their combined form, and it's like he's got a handgun, and he's got to give a piggyback, and man's like dying of embarrassment. Everyone's not laughing at them. I mean, like the supervisor's laughing at him, but everyone else is kind of like, "What the fuck?" It's just running through the battlefield, piggyback style, and it's like, "Okay, we're gonna do it. We're gonna get some points before the end of the test." And it's like, "Test over. Your one has killed all the monsters," and it's just like, "Oh." Shit, so we looked ridiculous for no goddamn reason. Well, we give it our best shot, and that's all you can do, really.
Okay, pack it up. We're going home. Oh wait, hang on. These things are off the charts now. They're all reviving, and they're like double the strength they were before. And there's this weird looking kaiju, and it knows how to talk. It's like, oh, that's unsettling.
And it seems to be using its abilities to bring back the kaiju stronger than they were before they were immediately killed just there. And it's also using mind bullets to shoot your one in the arms and legs, so the big kaiju survived can have a dinner, I guess. And so it's like, oh, we gotta go help her. And your man's kind of thinking, like, it's like, oh god, is friggin' Kafka gonna turn? All right, Kafka, I need you to not turn. Oh, he's already gone. He's already turned into a kaiju, and he's already fucking gone. He's already there. He's there. He's already, yeah. And he's blown his cover by blowing up the kaiju, and now he's begging to your one. It's like, please don't tell anyone kaiju. Please, oh, please, oh, please.
It was a really cool moment he did there. Like, he's doing that special move for saying, I gotta go all out for this. And kind of morphing like the fucking feet to kind of with the fucking clamps to go into the ground, and
his feet bite into the ground and rocket
biting a jet engine at the elbow, and he's fun super punch.
And then he's like immediately humbling himself as like, please don't tell anyone because they'll have to kill me right now, and that would really suck for my career as a monster fighter. And his boy kind of comes along. He's like, you fucking you did exactly the fucking thing I thought you did, but that's the guy I love. I mean, the guy who I think is really my cool senpai.
It's kind of again this early on thing, like later on, Menor seems to kind of like come out of the story a bit, but it's just like, oh, like they really kind of pushing each other on because this young lad is like aside from me, he's very capable, he's really fun going for us. He's like, and she's just jumping in there without hesitating. So I want to be a bit like him and get some of that in me, and then fucking taking his example, then Renner was just fun saying, but Kafka, you're who I had to be. You're so fun, you're experienced, and you keep on trying. You got the grit. It's just like, and this nice little thing that goes on with them, but this again, it seems to get like you can have orbits over for a while.
It gets lost in the weeds a little bit, but I mean that's the kind of relationship with a lot of people with Kafka, where it's kind of like he's spurring them on, not by being. Well, I mean, he technically is like can be turned into a thing stronger than them, but it's his grit, it's his kind of keep pushing forward thing and they're all kind of pushing each other. This new generation of guys. So like I like the way that they play off each other. The rivalry makes them stronger. It's a very standard fucking trope, but it does it very well.
Well, everyone got back okay. I don't know what the fuck was going on there. There was like a category fucking 9 point fucking Fortitude out there, and it just kind of vanished as quickly as it came. So was there another?
Which they assume it's the equipment fucked up because there was a big storm and that knocked out a bunch of the drones, and I was like, oh, that must be the equipment malfunctioning because that would have been the strongest kaiju ever on record, and I can't have been what happened.
Yeah. Well, the strongest kaiju currently on record is currently sitting in fucking public toilet trying to answer a phone. So kaiju number 9, Master of Disguise and all-around schemer, has some designs on humanity and the kaiju's plan to destroy them thereof. And so he's got to assume like a little civilian identity. He's got to get a little bit of intel, kind of wheedle his way into. So he's starting his new job with the Kaiju Disposal Company.
I mean,
Sure
like they
hope
literally.
to.
I mean, like if the guys get the job, they're going to have 2 openings very soon. So I guess it makes sense.
Well, it's gonna be like a whole opening the whole department. Like Kaiju #9 there.
Mm,
So
mm.
hope nothing bad happens to them. I don't think anything bad does happen to them, but I can't say nothing doesn't not bad happen to them.
Yeah, yeah.
Doesn't or worse to that effect.
And the combination of like Kafka being back in hospital again and going like, okay, yeah, I don't know if I fucking passed, and his best friend kind of showing up as like, good job saving that other soldier is like, I literally cannot say anything personal, and it's like he's like, I cannot say anything personal either because they both stubborn idiots is essentially their problem. But
Yeah.
they can't say anything besides that to each other. And your one after being questioned by the vice captain is very much so like, yeah, I took out that kaiju. Yep, that was me. I turned it into a bloody smear on the ground despite having a rifle. That's how I did it.
Yeah, it's like again like how like Kafka and Red are spurring each other on, like like unbeknownst to each other. It's just like Kafka, like his inadequacy is right there on show, but he keeps on going because you gotta keep trying because there's something why he's part. Then Kikaru, hyper capable, comes is in the family as also crippling inadequacy issues because we're fucking dad the general is like, oh yeah, you did good, but like that's not perfect now, is it? It's just like,
Yeah,
but I did perfect, and it still wasn't good. It still wasn't good enough. So
you get the little thing of like her going back to her dad with like top results in one of the exams, and he's like, yeah, you're expected to do perfect. Anything else would be abhorrent, like that kind of thing. It's like you can never fail. Never do better, less than fucking perfect, because that would be when I'd get mad. But I'm not going to praise you for doing perfect. It's like, cool. This is my life. No wonder I turned out into a little brat, like that kind of way. Yeah.
So also, while covering for Kafka, they're going saying, "Oh yeah, it was totally me who did it." She's gonna know I didn't fucking do it though. He did it, so I gotta
Yeah.
fucking chase behind him and follow his example. No, so it's just
Mm.
Kafka. You're inspiring people all around.
Sometimes the
Again,
wrong way, but yeah. Okay.
again, as you said, Spike can be a powerful motivator.
Yep.
Keep running theme.
Then it's time for something I did watch. Go Go Loser Ranger, episode 5, Fighter D as part of Ranger Force.
Yeah, I
Which
forgot again.
That's okay, man.
Four people who are terrible to varying degrees. First of all, we meet all the other independent rangers who Hibiki assured Fighter D that they're all really great people. And then Fighter D meets them and assesses that at least 50% of them aren't great.
Okay, like the ones that are like not actively an asshole are just kind of like the equivalent of wasters essentially, like, or they got high aspirations and they're not going to fucking achieve that shit. It's just like they're harmless or assholes. Like it's not a great fucking spread. And I love
like
the fact that I
it
wrote on my
was-
laptop about their profiles so you can know who's who by the face, and he's like, I don't know how laptops work because I'm a monster. I've immediately broken your laptop. So it's a good thing he was given the job of giving them their new pass cards. So you could look at their, like, flick through the cards and see their name. It's like, hey, John, and hand him his fucking card. Like, it was just like, yeah, that's very convenient for him on his first day.
There's one
Yeah.
who hates him for reasons he doesn't know.
Yeah.
There's two who bully him. There's
Mhm.
two who are fine. They're generally polite to him. There's the old guy who's proud that he's the guy who's the oldest independent ranger and hasn't been promoted yet.
And then they haven't updated his picture. His picture looks far more youthful than him. He looks kind of strung out a little. I feel bad for the guy.
So then he goes to Hibiki's room and discovers that there's another fighter in the cupboard in Hibiki's room.
Yeah. But this one's a lady. So he has a lady trapped in his cupboard. His relationship with everyone around him is kind of like, oh, all these people are lovely. I was like, at least half of them are pricks. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking. But I kind of get a better idea of you. And now that I know you have a lady locked in your cupboard, I have different ideas about you as a person. I don't quite know what to fucking think of you as a character. This has changed my worldview of you a bunch. Yeah.
Meanwhile, the pink keeper wants to see Hibiki, and Yumiko is trying to prevent her from doing this because might uncover the plot. But fails because turns out the Pink Ranger, the Pink Keeper, rather, is the big sister of her Biggie, and when she's not in her pink keeper form, she's in a wheelchair because of the
Yeah.
stuff we saw on her during the flashback.
Yeah, so we man gonna we go back, we flash back to him telling Fighter D about in a flashback of like, okay, so shit collapsed on us. There was a monster god there. Blue Ranger showed up, killed him. When he retired, he adopted us, so that made me want to be a ranger because a fucking ranger saved me. That makes sense, and it's like also obviously inspired the sister to do that. So I presume when you henshin, you do get extra powers like the ability to walk again, that kind of shit. And obviously we've seen with the Red Ranger, he turned that guy into fucking paste. It's just like super strength is like the very basic fucking thing you get. So yeah.
And then it turns into a Whitehall farce as he's to prevent the Pink Keeper from discovering A, that he's not her brother, and B, that there's a woman inside his cupboard.
And the difficulty is because his sister's fairly flat and like fairly like serious, and the fighter locked in the cupboard is kind of like, one of my allies, come on, let's go slaughter all these humans right now. And it's like, no, like I'll give you the signal and you pop out and go swinging with those iron blades, but until then you fucking lay low. And it's like and she's like bang banging on the thing. Like earlier he went to the guy, the repair guy, who was like, can you fix my laptop? Also, the pipes are fucking mad in my room. Like he didn't notice there was someone trapped in his closet in the meantime. But like she's banging the closet now pretty hard. That's got to be a metaphor. While his sister's there, and his sister's like, "What's that noise?" He's like, it's the pipes, just the pipes. The pipes wouldn't bust out right now. Don't bust out, pipes." And trying to like manage these two in their own way, like idiots in that they're unaware of the fucking larger situation that he's trying to fucking do here. But like from his point of view, he's trying to do so much social engineering and he's not good at it, which is funny.
Yes, ushers the sister out temporarily so then he can deal with the woman in the cupboard who realizes, oh, you're not one of the fighters who was left on Earth. You're one of the fighters who chose not to fight to the death. So it's clear,
you're one
like,
of the ones who stayed behind and worked with the Rangers all these fucking last few years. Yeah.
But the ones who are doing the Sunday show are the ones who didn't want to fight.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to fight a real fucking fighter. This is part of the show. You don't want to fight someone who's trying to kill you. That's not part of the fucking thing we're trying to sell here. Yeah.
Yes. So he's like, there's an amazing bit of animation when he decides on what his plan is going to be. Pretends that he's seen her point of view and let's go on a rampage. But you have to turn back into a human first because she's given herself the skull face. So while she's doing that, there's a great bit of animation where he gets this evil smile on his face and just sidles off to the side of the screen and then comes back with a knife and chops her head off and puts it in a box.
Yeah. The difficulty was finding a a box big enough for a head in the cupboard. There's a couple of boxes in there. It's easy enough to. And put the head in the box so she can't regenerate. And it's like, all right, throw that in the cupboard. Oh, your man's sister's back. I better drag her fucking body into the fucking cupboard. Yeah, it's a lot of good stuff.
Yes, and then the sister comes back, and then they have the conversation, and she's trying to convince him to come to abandon being in the battalions because she's like, oh, this isn't the ideal thing you think it is. I've got to protect you. I'll take you away from here.
She's basically saying to him, "You're not a fighter because you got this whole literally a fighter to a guy who is literally a fighter. You got this whole thing of wanting to talk it out with the monsters, and all the other trainee guys know that this is his thing. He has a little plush of one of the fighters, so clearly he's been planning this for some fucking time. Basically, this wasn't a mad plan of him chopping off his arm. It's like, this is the perfect opportunity to enact my plan, which is good. But it's the idea that she's kind of berating him, like, you're a peaceful guy. You see this whole organization is fucked and you're not a fighter, so don't fucking fight for a living. Go do something better with your life. So he has to make a speech that appeals to both the sister and the fighter chopped up in the closet at the same time, which is like, oh, that's good.
On the fly, tricky.
So she's making this point, pointing this kitchen knife at him, and then he goes to block the kitchen knife, which catches his arm, and there's a little bit of dust, and you think, did she spot that he's not the brother at that point.
Mm.
It seems like she didn't, based
It
on
seems like she didn't, yeah.
but maybe she's ignoring that because this gives her a fantasy of a type of brother she doesn't have.
Because it's not your brother; it's a guy disguised as your brother. But yes, that is more so the brother that she would want, basically. Yeah. What his speech is something on lines of it's just like, no, I gotta fight. It's one of those kind of ones because I'm a fighter, born and bred, and it's like that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna fulfill the mission, and it's just like, did you hear that corpse in the closet? Did you hear that, sister? Perfect. Okay, I think I covered everything I needed to.
Sort of like, what would Hibiki do? Yeah, he'd stab the apple.
Because the other thing, he's been getting an impression of it, like it's like I now understand things about you I did not understand in my prior interactions with you. Now to start acting like you in a way that I think you would act, which isn't quite right, but it's good enough to fool the sister, it seems.
It leaves, reassembles the fighter in the cupboard. They come to an agreement that she's not going to go maniacal, and then she asks after Hibiki, and he's like, "Yeah, Moran like him would never die." And then we see like she's got a smile, so she's soft on Hibiki. So we don't know why she was hiding in the cupboard, but clearly she was hiding, and she was fine with hiding in the cupboard for Hibiki's.
Because I think it was basically like she's fine with whatever Hibiki's plan was at the time. It's like I presume something subtle, because hide in the closet will wait until you can pop out to enact the plan. And then when she saw that this imposter wasn't him, it's just like, you're not him. I'm with his plan. It's like, oh, you're one of us. So we're doing the slaughtering plan. Oh, you've come to rescue me. Yeah, let's get the right to slaughter. But then she's like, okay, I will go back to your subtle plan of not killing all humans immediately on sight. Let's see what you're up to then.
And then the very last thing is the sister, Cicera, and her right-hand man driving back, and they spot a woman being harassed in a park, and she tells the right-hand man to pull over, and then she changes into the Pink Keeper, beats the guys up who are harassing this woman, stuffs
and
them
the thing
inside.
is like, oh, the Pink Ranger's not going to beat us up. She's the girl one. It's like,
yeah,
they're all super powered. What are you talking about, you idiots?
They're all psychopaths. Why should mess with them?
She does like make mincemeat of them nearly, basically. Not kill them, but they're not out. They maybe kill them. I don't fucking know. Probably not.
And then she sits on top of the playground equipment above them and cries to the sky about how excited she is about how passionate her brother's become.
I never thought I'd see that fiery look in his eyes. Oh, that feels real good. It's like, oh, you're a creep, aren't you? Yep. Okay.
That's kind of what goes through the head of her right-hand man. His line is, I guess even girls are just as likely to surprise you as boys do.
Yep. Yeah.
The moral of the story.
Yeah, so we get introduced to a couple more weirdos, and it's fun to see now. It's the fun having Foot Soldier D having to deal with somebody who's behaving how he was at the start of the series,
and like who's in the low ranking position he was in, but from the opposite fucking side. And because he's cursing, he's like, why couldn't you have been a higher rank? Why didn't I take over the identity of someone in a much fucking higher rank or something? It's like, I'm at the bottom of the fucking barrel here. This sucks.
And then yeah, all the additional weirdos who are introduced, sort of they go some way to making Foot Soldier D seem more human.
Yeah, because he's looking at this guy. He's like, this guy's just pathetic. I'll defeat him last. That kind of fucking thing. It's just like, hey, I don't need to prioritize taking out that fighter. He seems all right. That kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and say the Pink Keeper, that having a she's something's wrong with her, but it's not wrong in the same way that we've seen with the Red Keeper and the hints we've seen whatever's up with the Blue Keeper.
The scene earlier with the two women like barbing at each other, essentially, they both have a very similar like dead look in their fucking eyes. They both seen some shit, and I was just like, that's a really good contrast, because we already have established her as a character that's very like flat and deadpan and perhaps very messed up inside. And yeah, to contrast that with the sister gives you a good idea of her.
When they tell Suzukiri to not behave the way she's behaving, the way she changes her behavior is so sarcastic.
Yeah. It's like the cute girl laugh, but done by someone who has like no fucking ability to smile naturally. Doesn't work.
think this is my favorite episode so far, just because it's got the fast
It's the
stuff.
reboot. It's the reboot of the series. Now it's going to be about this fucking thing.
But that's kind of like good. Like, just to upend the status quo of it, just
Yeah.
like not far into it, and then it's going to be upended again when this little fucking development, like fucking comes to a head as well. Like, you know, he's like, oh, you just kind of know it's just kind of hanging over you now. For once, you know, when's it going to happen? Oh, it's going to happen. Like, oh, we at least wanted to.
See the flashback. Are they being addressed by the same leader who was the one we saw going on a rampage an episode ago? I think it might be. I assume he's all building up towards coming face to face with the guy who was pretending to be the god in their cult.
Yeah.
At least for this initial one, because it feels like that's the only executive they've shown us so far. So I assume that will be the first executive we deal
Have
with.
to refight or re-deal with or whatever. Yeah.
Either ally or have to fight, whatever the case is with them. Yeah, good fun. Then we got Train to the End of the World, episode 6. Was what I said that awful? Yes, it was.
Yeah, that was a real shitty fucking thing to say. I didn't think it was going to be, and I was like, absolutely, it was. Fucking hell.
It's just about like shitting over someone's like hopes and dreams. Just like
Here is the one who dreams in her head in the first place when they were younger.
Yeah,
just going,
that's the thing.
Look at you with your notions about yourself. It's just like, oh,
and like a part of it's coming from a place of self-deprecation. It's like, I am never going to achieve anything big. Therefore, neither are fucking you, because you're small and nothing like me. And it's just like, that's the part that's like, hang on a fucking sec. You can't be putting shit on other people like that. Yeah.
Yes, she wanted to become an astronomer, which Shizuru has taken us to being an astronaut. But these are all, it's also in relation to what we've seen in the previous episodes of the flashbacks of all Shizuru's big dreams when she was littler.
I want to fight an anteater. Yeah.
Yeah, looking at enamored with all these big dreams she's got, and then yes, to see them at like whatever they are, 15.
And it's even the thing of like, I get you might have confused astronaut with astronomer, but she's like, it's like, you know, that's going to be really hard. It's like, yeah, I'm going to have to really put the books down. I'm going to have to get into a decent work to get into a decent college and that kind of shit. But no, I mean, there is a path there. Like that's a fucking thing you can do. And they always need, you might be the world's most foremost astronomer, but there's always people like who do a lot of the grunt work and do a lot of the research. There's so many researchers like, yeah, that's a feasible thing. But one's like, no, you're a small town girl like me. You're never going to fucking achieve anything like me.
You're a fucking begrudger for Shizuru. You just want to drag everyone down with you. Is that it?
Yeah. Yeah, I have to say, I absolutely love that as being the plot. Because I'm so sick of countryside people being depicted as being magical and having some sort of healing quality when the city.
Yeah, but then you go to the big city and dish it upon 7G apocalypse. So actually, you were right to stay, weren't you? You and your notions.
That was set in place by people like someone else would have walked into that station and pressed the fucking button if it wasn't her.
Gonna go to the big smoke and be a big shot and fucking destroy the entire world.
But yeah, I thought it was kind of, it was a really well put thing of it, and obviously coming from like a more country place like myself, the idea of the fucking crab bucket of everyone pulls them fucking self down, that kind of shit, and it's like keep in your fucking lane, don't ever aspire to be anything better than the rest of us. Like
with the train line, it will take us longer to get to where you want to go. I think that's the other part. In terms
that's
of
the other part, because like the idea that there is a literal fucking through line, the fucking train to get to the big city, to go to the places you need to go to achieve the things you want to do. But now the distances are longer in between us. Now the distance in our friendship is longer, and the whole existential question is like, I think the girls kind of having that conversation at night where it's like, so if we're having an argument, are we still friends? It's like, yeah. It's like, what if we never resolve that argument? It's like, I don't want to think about that right now. Yeah, it's a Schrodinger's friendship is what we got right now. So
after we've had that anecdote from Shizuru, then her friends have to negotiate this, and essentially they come to the conclusion, Shizuru, it's all your fault.
Yeah.
And you
But
keep
they're
on
not being shitty, but like the fact that she's pushing them away is like, I didn't ask you guys to come here. It's like, there you are fucking again. There you are again. We fucking decided to come with you and also find her and like say, you know, say you're sorry and like hopefully she'll want to come back with us and still be friends with us. We're trying to repair this shit and you're still pushing us away from this thing.
yeah.
Her solution is like, fine, I'll just fucking walk there. I'll just fucking walk there. And it's like, you're just gonna walk along the train line, so we're just gonna take a
Yeah, I
kip
We'll
and
get
catch
you
up to
again.
you.
And it's like, because they present Nadesco as being the mature one and the
Mm.
sensible one. And I think that's the point where it's like, oh, your acting mature has led you into, and you should have stopped her going because
Yeah.
it's insane out there.
Mm.
You've got this, you've taken your parents' approach of it. Let's just let her deal with it. She'll come back.
We'll let her cool off. We're literally on the train line. We're just gonna catch up there quicker because we're in a fucking train, so it'll be grand. And it's like she immediately is like, I'm gonna cut across. I'm gonna cut across.
Nope.
That'll be
Well,
much.
well, is that Anthony's Pochi? Pochi is with them.
Yeah.
Other Pochi's been kind of like been weird lately. The fun thing. Oh damn, they were really sucking the dog at sick and died on the way, wouldn't it? It's like, don't even say that. He's right there. Look at his face. How old is he? No, he's like fun. No, he must be like 12, 13. That's pretty old for a dog. Stop. You're bringing bad vibes in the whole trip, dude.
So then they run into the leader of the Black Leopards, Neko, their leader, who gives them more news. Now, notice this time is that everything he tells them, he's only heard from somebody else. He has no information to pass
Yeah.
on.
Yes. Yeah.
Firsthand.
Oh, I know that guy through a thing. Oh, I've heard of this. Yeah, I've read about
Some
mushrooms.
people are saying,
Zombies. That being the important bit of information for this episode is overhearing about zombies.
It feels like every time we cut back to the I was going to call it a phone call, the fucking the conversation, like we get less and less information that's relevant from him. I don't know if it's going to continue, but yeah.
But the zombies are real. They've definitely caught the Chizuru. But they're pretty alright, actually. Pochi didn't need to go, like, get the fucking glint in his eyes and actually destroy them. But, they've had her trussed up and brought back, But the head zombie, she seems pretty alright. She's with it.
She wants to take her alive, and it's kind of like, okay, like even offers her some food, where she orders one of the zombies to give her an arm.
Just
her a
holds it
hand.
out. Want some? No?
No, thank you.
Okay.
I don't like jerky.
Oh, my delicious corned beef. At which point you go, I don't think you're a zombie, are you?
The thing of her saying is like, oh yeah, I the queen of the zombies doesn't have to eat human flesh. I can eat corned beef, and I was like, either you're not a zombie or not eating human flesh is the thing that makes you not a zombie, and being zombified and continuing to eat canned meat makes you perfectly reasonable.
This is probably some other situation where like all the adults turn into animals in the first town. Now the animals turn into zombies here, and I'm the only one. And as like the only one there, I'm not the one I'm going around like making sure that they're properly like proper humidity for them. That they're actually migrating zombies. That you are doing pretty good. No, they are great for biodiversity. They kind of like search for kind of like good soil quality and and weather and things like that. Good air. But I gotta follow around, make sure that they're taken care of because they're falling to pieces. These people, they gotta get themselves together. Am I right?
I love the idea that the zombies are sad and pathetic and need minding, because her kind of thing, and I was like, especially like fucking Japan, is like extreme highs and extreme fucking lows and that kind of shit. Is like, so they'll just rot if I leave them out in the sun too long. They'll also rot if it gets too moist, and it's like, fucking what if it rains and shit, and if it gets too cold they'll just fucking freeze. And there's one on the ground, he's just misting with a little mister. It's just like, I'll get him back on his feet, it's grand, don't worry about it.
It's like one big fucking like cattle drive. You gotta like be bringing these over to the pastures before winter.
Yeah. Gotta keep these zombies rolling.
And then we leave it with the three girls deciding that we'll go and get Shizuru because rabies. We can go back with the Black Leopards.
Yeah, but I like her kind of reason the thing is coming back to like if we have an argument to be still friends. Yeah, it's just like well, it's different, because he's great when he's not gambling or drinking, but when he is, which he usually is, he's pretty bad. Whereas more like this is like one of those things like she's a jerk, but I still love her. It's like it's one of those situations. So like we're all in agreement. She's a jerk, but we still love her, so we're gonna go save her. Yeah. Okay, let's go.
It's like which way does the butt lean, towards the negative or the positive in this scenario, and that's just them trying to figure it out. Yeah.
We get lots of Akira's updated facts about zombies. Some of them maintain personalities these days. Some of them move quite fast.
It depends what movie or TV show we're talking about, so don't worry about it.
The
Yeah.
one you've seen most recently.
That is the end of the episode. I'm having to stop. Remind myself when the end of the episode is because I've already watched next week's episode.
Strange is gonna keep it rolling.
Yes, because it's a fascinatingly weird show that you kind of want to watch as soon as it comes up. Then we've got Root of OddTaxi. This is the thing I thought was ending at two episodes time, but it turns out it's going to episode 10. So I suspect it's going to go much further than the anime did because we're up to the end of episode 10 of the anime with this one.
Yeah. Where the bank heist is being planned in this episode. So yeah, we're fairly far along.
There's not much more you could even compress. Yeah, because we're fairly deep in before when Kaki Hana is in the warehouse getting the shit knocked out of him.
When we started with our characters, like the plot was already in fucking full swing. Like they were getting a lead on Otokawa when his camera was already been taken from him by the cops, and like that was already fucking into it. You know what I mean?
What I like is how even though we see things that our main characters aren't privy to, only see things that relate to the things our main characters are privy to.
It's still like you could just watch this plot and you wouldn't need to watch OddTaxi. It obviously benefits from watching it because you get the extra fucking detail. But it
you pick up on
something
something bigger happening, because things just like conversations just kind of like cut off. So and just kind of let's get that moving on to the next thing today. It's like, well, there's something fucking bigger going on right here.
Like
so,
we have to show Kakihana getting rescued by Otokawa, but we do get to see Kakihana getting interviewed by the detectives. Like it's like, so what about your captain? It's like, I don't really know. It's like a tall guy. No, I can't really tell you much. It's the idea that like that's the part that would interest them. They're trying to find out who is doing the things, that kind of thing.
Yeah, besides what's like who is included, it's also the kind of what's absent. Like the gacha game assassin is out there, and he's like, he's like coming for his big moment in these scenes as well. Does he involve in this at all? Because he's kind of on this factor. I'm kind of waiting. No, he's fucking out there though. He's going to kind of drop it in the story.
Yes, the shootout at the club has happened. See it here.
It's not to do with the case they're following, basically. Yeah, because they're solely focused on her missing friend, the missing idol, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Otokawa, the warehouse, and the office.
Yeah, I suppose the most you'll see is Dobu getting fucking taken one in the leg, and he's like, "Whoa, what happened to you, man? Oh, like it's got this fucking lunatic to shot me."
The fight, I kind of like the sped up, like the sped upness to make the impacts kind of more solid between Dobu and what's the fucking polar bear guy? I can't remember.
Sekiguchi. Yeah. And I had to kind of contrast there. Like he's used to fun, like, no, I'm a big dude, I can throw my weight around.
Yes.
Nobody just fights dirty and desperate.
Yes.
He's just fun lobbing shit and throwing stuff in your face and just he's dirty fuck
like,
shit. But he goes for the fun thumbs in the eyes, like, oh, you evil motherfucker here.
Like your man's used to being big, is like, I'm just gonna get back up, and it's like Dobu's gonna go for a nut shot. Like that's how he fucking wins his fucking shit. Like
over his line, Otokawa, you go and rescue your friend. I'm going to throw this guy in the sea.
Great fucking line. But like, much as I did enjoy that, the fucking action sequence where your one is in the idol thing and then realizes like, oh shit, the guys are here. Like texting her friend really quickly, is like, get to someplace safe where there are people fucking around. I gotta go. And your one's like, oh, we've been disqualified because you didn't show up. But the contrast between that of her running and the fucking idol song, it's so good. Like the build to it and everything.
The memory of her running as
track and field and stuff. Yeah.
Realizing, oh no, that's just a fantasy that I'll be able to leap across the buildings.
Because it builds to it, like, and it makes you, the audience, feel like it's like she's gonna do it. She's gonna jump to the next fucking building, and she's like, absolutely under no fucking circumstances.
No, there's even a bit in the middle of that, like for chasing each other, but both of them just like, I'm fucked. You fucked. Yeah, I'm fucked. So never damage, resume the chase.
Yeah. And then your man actually does the most useful thing I'm only privy to his life from the cartoon and this show, but the most useful thing I've ever seen him do his entire life. So good job on you for showing up with a baseball bat and a pinch.
Other guys that get expanded a bit out from the tapir, the mob boss.
Yeah.
But to see if he's down there legit, I'm just here at the soup kitchen. I got some angles says this is Yano phone saying my phone saying, no dude, some things down besides fucking the money is for doing things like this, you get me, phone saying. No, what? I don't get that. What? Hang on.
Like
I
this
see
is
the disconnect
this
again.
is who the boss wants to be now. He wants to make the world a better place. He wants to take all these ill-gotten gains and improve shit with it. And Yano's like,
he's been doing in OddTaxi. We get it right at the end that he's been doing that for decades.
yes, yeah. But clearly, like it's like Yano's kind of like, why are you fucking doing this? What's your angle? It's like guy called in sick, so I said I'd hop in, and it's like, no, there's something else. It's like, no, because this is the thing that I want to fucking do. This is important to me. It's not important to you.
That's also like traditional like have Yakuza one thing. It's just like we fun bust heads, but we also like fun about soup help at earthquakes, that kind of thing. The bit the
earthquakes and
cab
hurricane relief, like they actually do community work as well. Yeah.
Yeah, focus much crime and that. Yeah.
His thing is he's supporting orphans, isn't he? Because like, he does it for Otakar, where he did it for the brothers as well, the cop brothers, if I remember correctly.
And it's like the opposite of the crab bucket thing, where it's just like by doing this criminal community support, I can make sure these kids have a decent start in life, and yet they still get roped into fucking the darkness that is fucking all the criminality around them in the society that they live. So it's kind of like, it doesn't really help much.
Rui comes off worse with the expanded stuff we get with her here in the audition part. Possibly as a distraction if you haven't watched OddTaxi to know who the real murderer is, because we get the fake out with her murdering somebody and it turns to pull back. It's a TV show.
Because it all ran out like spot or kind of the bathroom, the board, looking in the mirror, and this so is it because Mitsuya is that the real one? Where she is, and she's like, she's not saying anything. She just kind of storms right on out. So she thinks, this is the fucking one right here.
Takes an opportunity to kind of corner her because she's being a diva, and it's just like, well, I can talk to her in the bathroom, and I'm going to confront her in a way that is serious and shows that I'm emotionally invested. One just basically blanks her. Yeah, not great. Not a great look.
And it holds off showing you the fake Yuki's face unmasked. So you think I was like, are they going to not show it? And then it's like a couple of cuts later, the camera pans across, and it's like, oh, there's the face. We're talking to them normal. We're asking if what happened. Where do you know what happened to the previous one? Is that first of all, it's like, is that a stage name? Because we were looking for a girl with the same name, and
that's not you.
They're asking her questions to try and lead her down the thing. It's like, because you guys started off with only like 5 fans at your first concert. And everyone's like, yeah, that's right. Yeah, back in the old days, because like she doesn't fucking know. She wasn't in the fucking band. That you're just trying to get. You're trying to like bait her basically with information.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the stuff that's going to go beyond. Presuming they're not going to do the last 3 episodes of OddTaxi across 4 episodes of this.
It'll probably come up on the news. Like they'll be like, Jesus, fucking look.
Well, the probably work in what was it like was it the radio play or something? Like some of the events of that.
Who's spying on stuff, and because that's got scenes of stuff she does between being discovered and the very end of the TV series. I think happens in that, because I think she comes after that guy and various other people.
So the thing is, it's not about that's much work I compress into that much work spent on us. It's like they could just expand out and hold the direction and more. I mean, that's because they've already saying, well, what was it the fun Don feel about this all the time?
Yeah,
his fun Don is fun saying, well, he's pretty fucking depressed and angry, honestly. As we can see, but we didn't really get much of that in the one main series, is we? So
and the other thing is
expand upon.
because this is focusing in on the plot of the missing girl. I mean, we know what the fuck's happened to the girl. Her body's been fucking fished out of the fucking river. Like,
By the end of this one, yeah.
yeah. It's basically like the characters who will care about that, like her dad and the Don, are just like, what are they going to do now that this information is out? What are they going to do once they find who fucking did it? Like, there's other things to be resolved that wasn't the main thrust of Odd Taxi, but it is the thrust of this show.
Yes,
Yeah.
because they'll go now to their detective friend, their detective childhood friend, and discover, oh, yes, the woman who used to work for me, I fired her, but she's still working out of the office, so she's still looking into it, even though I told her not to. And they'll be like,
yeah,
it'll be like, why? How did you not find anything? Yeah, all this stuff. Yeah, the manager comes across much worse as a human being as well.
Oh, I mean, like, he was always awful, but yeah, definitely much worse. It's weird, like, a lot of the characters who did like minor things that were kind of like, I mean, they're still working with fucking gangsters and shit, but like they come across as very complicit in working with gangsters in this. And our little monkey guy is like, oh, poor monkey man. Whereas in the show, you were like, oh, this fucking monkey.
I don't know who I feel like more sorry for, like, him as the ape, or him as the ape like human man that he
The
is
human,
here.
I think he does a wonderful job of the actor does a wonderful job of being pathetic. Like, he's so good. He's so, and it's just like, but you're trying to like date like a fucking teenager essentially. It's just like, yeah, but like you've managed to look at very pathetically, which it is a pathetic thing, but you've done a great job of that. Yeah.
Yeah, the veneer was falling off, like, they start trying to do the idle thing, because this fucking like barter game stuff was just like really low rent for a crime outfit anyway. And even that's like, even their idle group now, it's like, oh, we're kind of fucking a bit lower rent as well. We're getting up there, but it's all this veneer of cheapness and tackiness to it.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, you all think you're fucking hard organized mafiosos. If one say, no, you're a bunch of lads in a fucking warehouse, a fucking damp warehouse in the fucking docks. You get nowhere better to be every Saturday night.
It's not only are they running a seedy scam, they're not doing it very well.
No.
See, that's the thing. I like seeing more details of that scam, like and we get that conversation again with Otakawa and Dobu in the taxi, where it's just like, yeah, we're not supposed to interfere in each other's fucking shit is the main fucking rule. And Otakawa going like, well, he's interfering with your plan to rob a bank, so technically that means you can. And he's like, fucking don't give me. But you
got me
see
there.
you see the tiny little stupid fucking criminal shit that they're doing, like, from a lot more detail. And just the idea of Dope was like, time for a clash of all ages, and it's just two dudes beating the shit out of each other in a warehouse. And it's just like, it's a nice fight, but it's kind of like it's so low rent and shit. There's no fancy moves or anything.
Yeah, it feels like Dobu's trying to prove that he can still go at his age as well.
Yes. Yeah. He's willing to hurt himself to fucking do what needs to be done. Which is like, does get him fucked up, but also the other guy gets more fucked up. So
Yeah, and obviously part of that is because I've not seen here, but obviously at the show is somehow he thinks that will impress the nurse.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll show up at the end as well.
I mean, like, there's multiple points where, like, including breaking or having your finger broken, where you should have ended up in A&E, that you could end up in a doctor's office, that kind of fucking way. Yeah, it's easily done.
Looking forward to more of this. Anyway, more back to me shutting my face and listening to you. It's Bartender, Glass of Gold, episode 6, The True Face.
This is like more of a classic Bartender, kind of like some down to luck people who were brought together by the magic of alcohol and also
cigars.
Smoking.
Cigars this time, the different fucking vice. So cigars are good for you, actually, or good for your romantic interest and resolving undone issues. In this case, and in very few others, I think that would be.
There's like a hard pressed, like, manager in some offices that's like, what? You're taking responsibility for your underlings' blunder? What kind of manager? Why didn't you try and fucking put it on somebody else? They actually disrespect him for being a stand-up guy and not admonishing wherever his report was. And then, like, oh, I'm very sorry for betting for it. It's fine. I'll see you on Monday. And Fun saying, how did it go? Oh, got off pretty lightly there. I think it's like, no one respects you. No one respects me for who I am. For being
like
a nice
her going
guy.
like, I fucking apologize, and he fucking was still really fucking blunt with me. It's like, but he's got the shit taken out of him during the meeting. It's just like, my life is very hard. I'm wandering home. What's this? A bar very
wrong, but wrong. We quit smoking as well.
Yeah. Because he keeps reaching for a cigarette that he's like, I'm not carrying cigarettes at me because I quit fucking smoking. But there's an out of the way bar I've just noticed is in this fucking industrial fucking
Magically
building.
appeared.
So like, I'll go in, and there's some fucking woman at the bar smoking cigars. Fuck this. And it's
I
like,
thought, wow, she's pretty hardcore.
yeah, she's just there with a big cigar, a big stogie, like looks cool, and he sits beside her. There's the whole fucking bar to sit at, and he's like, "If you're not gonna fucking smoke that thing, will you put it out?" And she's like, what are you talking about? It's not fucking doing it. I can smoke in here, right? I can light a cigar in here." The man's like,
That is her
"Absolutely."
right, sir.
And he's just like, "This is fucking bullshit. You can't be smoking next to me. Like, fucking just go over there in the bar." And it's like, "No, I'm not fucking moving. I was here first." And he's like, takes the cigar off her, snaps it. He's like, "There, no, it's fucking out." And I think he leaves. Yeah,
he leaves. It's like fun saying, "I was a real tool back there.
That was a shitty thing.
I'll go back to right away and I apologize to everyone and say, oh, well, I was being a real tool there, fun saying, oh, I understand, sir, trying to get smoking, you know, it was a hard deal, fun saying. That lady, like, who was she, fun saying? Well, just step back here for a minute, you know. This is the way I see the world, you know. It's like, wow, yeah, it's like the other wall, but it's more like kind of seeing the people all lined up in a row, and it's just like, you know, well,
and it's also him going like, I can't really talk because I'm like a therapist. I can't talk about my patients. Privacy thing. But now that you're behind the bar, technically, this is just a bartender talking to himself because I don't see any fucking customers. Do you see any fucking customers? This is just me talking about my customers to myself out loud.
There's this doctor, you know, and like, you know. Do you know what this is, sir? It's like, oh, it's like a cigar wrapper fun. Sorry, cigar wrapper now. Traditionally, this is a Western tradition that I saw in a fucking like fucking Popeye cartoon or something. Or when a baby is born, they've had that cigars to everybody and it's smoking. It's just like, so there's a certain doctor. She works in maternity ward, but a baby was delivered, but it was like very poorly, you know, and it needed a lot of work to do it. And she had a box of cigars that were like, no, given to her that day. Percent. I'm not smoking these until this child gets out of this hospital as well.
Gets out of this respirating unit and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the kid
so
didn't make it.
That nice. And she didn't want to go smoke these cigars. Like, no, she's just like, you know, yeah, the child didn't make it, but I'm just gonna like kind of light it up. I'm not gonna smoke it. I haven't got the right.
I haven't got the right to smoke it, but I am gonna light it up in like honor of the kid, that kind of fucking thing. And your man's like, shit. I mean, she come back off and it's like only on lonely nights, that late at night and that kind of thing. It's like, right, I'm gonna have to frequent this bar constantly. And I'm secretly thinking in my head, like, he's like, he, and I got a regular customer now and I charge very expensively. This is how I fucking snare the fuckers.
Oh, it's always the same drink. Give me a bamboo, which.
Yeah.
Did I want something kind of light? It's made of fucking like fun sherry and vermouth and things. It's like it isn't that light. Anyways, that's it. That's me committed. It's more about the cigar lore.
It's about the cigars in this one, yeah.
So you basically like, you know, that's sort of way of apology, like, you know, oh, I got a box of like American Cubans. These are big, better than Cubans. It's like, oh my goodness, sir. I was like, no, must cost you a pretty penny, but it's like, you know, I haven't seen her in some time. So go ahead, I'll come back tomorrow night. And tomorrow night, and the night after that.
The bartender says, like, tell you what, how about, because you don't want to take him, he doesn't want to not give him to you, so I'll keep him here. Again, he fucking win-win for the bartender. But it's like, you guys can smoke them here while ordering my expensive drinks.
But she just comes in just at that time and just like, whoa, it's a bit to find you here.
So when the both of them show up, they can smoke cigars together, look dreamily into each other's eyes, and clearly fucking like fall in love over the course of the other plot that's happening in the second half. Yeah.
Other plot is that like the kind of secondary lady to like the corporate unit who are trying to like recruit him. It's just like, she's got like engaged actually. It's like, oh, it's congratulations. It's like, yeah, he's a really nice guy. He's really good. You know, he's a bit of like an oddball like me. Like So
and just like, you're such a weirdo. It's great that you found someone who's equally weird. Yeah, it is great. Everything's going great. And I was like, I didn't even know you had a boyfriend. Yeah, you didn't know I had a boyfriend, did you? And it's like, okay, what the fuck is going on?
Something is off, yeah. So like, oh, we go to any bar I want, any bar you want, any bar I want. You, I know I don't know we're going to. Yep, we're gonna go to go to Eden Hall again. Yep, there we go. And it's like, oh, congratulations, madam. I had no idea. Like, no, you were getting engaged. And let's see, I'm making something for this Marty occasion. Now, Prosecco would be a bit gauche, so let me see. Okay, how about this? Brandy Alexander. It's like, ooh. It's like, yes, it was like, you know, for the marriage of
Alexandria of Germany
Princess
or something like that.
Alexandra and like
I'm not good at royal shit.
Some kind of count of Europe anyway. It's like, oh, okay. some was made to mark like that, and you think, oh, it's just like that's pretty good. That's very heavy. You can get all in one go. But you kind of, she's obviously something off about the thing. It's just like she comes back again by herself. It's like, okay, what does Brandy Alexander again? Sure, you can. And it's just like, well, I got this grandmother, you see, and she was so excited to hear the news, and she hasn't been like in great health recently, so I kind of rushed into this engagement. I'm not really ready for it because I just want to be there for my granny. I just want her to see me
I
walk
wanted her
down
to
the
see
aisle.
me walk down the aisle. I want to see that I'm safe, Granny. I got married. I'm all fucking good before she passes. And it's just like, but I'm not doing it because I want it and that kind of shit. And it's like, well, actually, this drink has a second meaning if you are into 70s cinema or whatever the fuck. I don't fucking know.
Even older than that, like, yeah, but it's like,
Yeah, probably.
And the film Days of Wine and Roses, the main character, like, she, after refusing drinks like alcohol, she abhors it, but it's like, she has a certain drink given to her, a brandy Alexander, and from there her life devolves into one of degeneracy and alcoholism. So you see, much like marriage, a brandy Alexander is, it's sweet and light. It's not to be entered into lightly. Like, I see.
Alcohol is a double-edged sword. And in the meantime, you have these two fucking like doctor and businessmen with stogies, like just fucking like looking at each other dreamily while CGI smoke comes off the fucking their cigarettes and or their cigars. And I'm just like, it's weird that that's happening in the background of the rest of this fucking depressing story. But all right,
But
so
so romantic, it's in Spain where they're from, it's called like Romero e Julieta. I think for loosely it means Romeo and Juliet. So
yeah, I got
it's a
that.
romantic cigar. It's like, oh, we've finished the whole box. I guess after this we can't see each other anymore. I must have also leaving to transfer and be a hospital in another city. It's like, how
Actually,
bad?
she was transferring in another country or something like that. Yeah.
No, it's a different prefecture.
Oh, sorry, I thought she's a different country. But yeah, so he is like, how about dinner? Since we're out of cigars, and she's like, that sounds really cool. I was like, oh, it'll all work out, I guess.
Yeah.
And your one's not getting married, so
Except for this and that. But maybe he's an oddball kind of guy. You understand? But yeah. Laying it heavy now. It's like, like if you for whatever ongoing plot you can call it, such as it is, if they're gonna listen to some of the old play the old hits on you, like where
yeah.
someone comes in with their busted down tale of bad luck and you solve it all together.
And your alcohol therapist will fix everything, so don't worry about it.
But it's not on that bit as well, but it's kind of was maddening at the beginning. It's just like yeah. Just to kind of like lay it out right there like that, and kind of all the angles of it, you kind of sees it for what things are when people come in. It's like, there's a couple, they're arguing because both of them want to make up, so they're both like trying to find a way through. It's might have to facilitate that, maybe make it worse, but it's the social lubricant. I consider myself a violent complaint. You're a doctor. You're smoking a cigar. You should know better than this. So let's call it even. All right.
Oh dear, I've accidentally closed something here that I shouldn't have done.
Chibi Godzilla raids again, season 2, episode 5. Chibi Ghidorah can't get along. I was thinking to myself, get along with who? Correct.
Yes, itself.
It just doesn't work.
So they're having a party, but Chibi Ghidorah has fallen out with itself because the left head had rented a horror movie and the right head is scared of horror movies. And so did it punch itself in the stomach?
It punched itself in the gut and knocked all of them out because it's all the same body as they keep having to stay.
And then they're like, but it's not just us, it's also you, middlehead, because you stay up all night playing video games. Does not show us how this creature with no arms.
Voice commands the worst.
Yeah. The right head has worked out the statistics of how little sleep that gets him specifically. Like, like you got to divide it by 3 or something like that. If you're not rested, then I'm not well rested by 1/3 or something like that. It's weird, basically.
Yes, my 9 hours of sleep only equals 6 hours of sleep because you're
that's
staying
it.
awake.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
And so just to ignore this argument, the middle head holds its breath until they pass out.
Which is like, but you guys are still breathing. It's great. I love it. And Godzilla just wants to get on
show
with
me.
After party.
Yes. Chibi Godzilla just wants the party. Mothra says, yeah, maybe this will settle it. We'll start the party. And then, oh no, we're serving up the sushi and there's only 2 tunas to go round. And then they end up
those are for the guests. Come on.
But by the end, Chibi Mecha Godzilla is kind of like, yeah, you know what, fuck him. You know, I'm just here to party.
Yes.
Like he's actually along. He's just like, you know what, I've dealt with this for this episode, and I'm fucking done now.
His empathy has been stretched to its breaking point.
Yeah,
Because at the start of the
very much.
episode, he wanted to settle this problem to begin with, and before we start the party, and clearly it cannot be settled.
This show's excellent. Yeah. Just
Yeah.
very funny fucking visuals of one of three heads holding its breath and the other two freaking out. Good stuff.
Talking of good stuff, it's Delicious in Dungeon episode 19, Hag and Nightmare.
Jesus. What do you call me?
I called you a Nightmare Hag.
Okay.
So first half deals with our new, not yet member of the party, but
yes, she is.
Party.
She's a wayward soul. She's perfect. But currently she's holding one of the party hostage under the conditions of cure my curses. It's like, sorry, did you say multiple fucking curses? It's like, yeah, this one on my neck and generally being a cat. It's like I'll give the neck one a look. I don't speak Japanese though. I'll give it a lash. Like,
give it a go. You there, back off. Food, give it to me now. It's like, okay, on. You haven't had anything proper now. It's like, no, it's my imperative as a dwarf to make sure the young ones are fed. So, let me fix you up something proper, okay? No funny business. Not eating any monsters, okay? That's okay, I guess. Make some like cheesy risotto. That's pretty good. Okay, I'm sliding it across the floor. Okay, no, don't want no trouble, buddy. All right, it's like all right, and it's just like, yeah, blah 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 blah. It's fun, horrible table manners, picking out the mushrooms, throw them on the floor. It's just like
the cat mannerisms that they managed to get across into the character from the comic as well. Like they're so good. Like if a cat could hold a spoon awkwardly, it would be like this. It's just. She's absolutely a fucking cat in
young lady.
A lot of her fucking things.
In this dungeon, we use our cutlery properly. It's like
the idea that like everyone else reacting is like, oh shit, she's a picky eater. Oh fuck, we're in trouble.
We've never had this before. Like Marcia was pretty bad, but she just like kind of swallowed it down at the end anyway.
But
this
fucker, her to eat it, and she will eat the whole fucking thing. That's fine. It's just convincing her to eat it in the end. This one not eating everything on her plate. You gotta eat your veg as well. Come on, or whatever the fuck mushrooms count as for a portion.
This bulking it out, in my opinion. They're good. There's elements in there. I want to feel them or know that they're actually in it.
Yeah, but her getting mad about being called out for being a picky eater distracts Marcel long enough. He's currently trying to undo the curse tattoo kind of collar. It's very much so a cat collar on her neck. And she fucks it up, and the hag pops out. It's like
Japanese
ghostress. There's a giant hag, and like attacking it with a sword doesn't do much because she's made of paper, and cutting paper with a sword doesn't stop her.
Yes. She's gonna stab us now any minute now. The this point is out. She's using a regular kitchen knife. It's got to be kept in good repair. So what? If used improperly, you will see, young lady. Lyle, shield, you got it, buddy. Ka-chunk, if you just kind of use it like the wrong way, just like funds wouldn't wire in a big fist like that, you're going to break it and maybe harm yourself or others.
So you need to use your utensils correctly, and he puts the spoon in her hand correctly after defeating the hag, because then she's fucking cool, as we have established many times over.
Yes. Also, this hag looks awfully a lot like Maizuru, but with a mask on.
It's almost like it was put there by a spell by her.
Yeah, well, who else would it be in that party? But I suppose
I think it was the same with the giant spider as well that they summoned as well, wasn't it? It had kind of like
the Ushioni, yeah.
But it had the same kind of markings on the face as that mage, yeah.
My brain has gone blank on what type of mask that is. It's the one that your fella in Yakuza has on his back.
It's the Oni Baba.
Oh, because it's hag. Yeah. You're probably right. Like Baba's old lady, isn't it?
Yeah, but if one you see used in like the plays and stuff, like this is obviously the Oni Baba character. Yeah, like everyone knows what kind of thing she is, and even Witcher thing like that. So, long story short, okay, you guys are going to break curse and get the bomb and saying, well, we know we saw him resurrect like Fallon turn into like a dragon griffin monster chimera thing, but that was kind of an accident. We don't know how to do any of that. So sorry to burst your bubble here.
I did like the metaphor and like the badness, because they were like, we are saying this about the person we're trying to save as well. Like the basic understanding of a soul is the body is an egg, and the shell is like the body, and the soul is like the yolk and the abdomen and all that kind of shit. So there's a spell in it that keeps that in the shell, even if the shell is fucking cracked open in the dungeon. Like if you fucking die, instead of your soul leaking out, it stays in your body. But in your case, and obviously in the woman we're trying to save's case, that's two souls mixed up together like the risotto. You can't really unmix an egg, basically. Yeah. And it's like shit. Yeah, now that we're saying it out loud, it's kind of bad because that's who we're trying to save as well. Ah, damn.
And Laos is like, but do not worry, because you have given us hope. Because while your soul is bound up with that of a cat's, you're still behaving like a human being, which means my sister's behavior is most likely due to a spell cast on her by the lunatic magician.
You
Not
have your wits
because
about you. You act like a fucking cat, but you can talk. You can use the spoon. Now that Sinji has properly instructed you how to use the spoon, I'm a monster fucker. Sorry, let me leave that part out. Everything's cool with you.
Enthusiast.
You give me hope for my sister, basically. Yeah.
Yes, and then Marcel points out, well, if you find the lunatic magician, he may be able to know more about how to split souls than I do.
It's more so his influence that caused...
Made all this shit. I mean, that's pretty something else.
Yes.
Mm-mm.
So they're filled with hope, time to go to sleep, and in an amazing bit of writing, tell us more about the lunatic magician by examining Marcel's past.
It's very good fucking world building. It's very good character development. It's really fucking tightly held together,
Yes.
and we get some cool weird dream visuals fucking on top of it. It's nice.
Yes, essentially, we look at Marcel's concerns as a half elf, and then as you're looking at them, you're realizing, oh, these are what the lunatic magician's concerns are as well. And the reason why they're behaving the same way is because of the same concern as it turns out Marcel's got, particularly because she's a half elf.
Yeah,
is she's afraid of outliving all her friends, which is what's happened to the lunatic magician.
and like
He's gone
a regular
insane
elf might have an elf might have the I'm going to live as long as other elves. It's not a really big deal to me. But if you live amongst people, and like the lunatic magician did, they're going to be like dog ears to your elf ears. Basically,
Yeah.
it's like it's not going to be great. It's going to feel pretty fucking bad. Yeah.
Further reading, Friar and Beyond Journey's End, which would
Yes.
expound upon this subject by itself at great length.
And so, before we get to that bit, Laos realizes he's in a nightmare as he's confronted by various people of his past, insulting
my
him.
parents in 10 years. Oh, this is in reality. Come on.
Yes. This is a dream. If it's a
My
dream,
parents, my former boss, my school bully, they wouldn't team up.
I saw like why he's realizing they're not just like standing there. It's like, well, that's kind of all we had. You know, but as soon as he figured out, we just kind of standing. We can't do anything else.
I mean, Laos is going like he knows all this because they. I wonder if that's part of the reason why he fell in love with his sister. But their old comrade also got nightmares at one point, and she walked Laos through the whole thing. It's like, here's the process. I'm gonna fall asleep on him. Like, use the nightmare haver as a pillow. Fall asleep on him. Then you can enter a nightmare, then enter their nightmare, and it's like, okay, so I know the rules of Inception. I can turn into a dog. Haha, brilliant. Tunnel. Oh wait, it only works in my dream where I can control my dream. I'm in Marcel's dream, so she's in control. I just need to find her. Oh, there she is, as a tiny little child. Perfect. I just need, as a big stranger man, to say, hey, small child, don't be scared. I'm your friend.
Yes. That monster's not real, and then he sees the monster and he is scared.
It's the most terrifying thing he's ever fucking seen. It's tentacles of every kind of beast in a big
he
mass
thinks
of
it's
them.
a worm, WURM to begin with, and then I really like the stuff of when it touches his face and he thinks it's a poison, you think it's a poison, and then you realise through the animation that it's aging, and then you realise before the characters do of what it actually is.
Like he can't see his face, and it looks like his face has melted, but it's like it's prematurely aged. And it's when he's starting to see his hand and he's starting to feel the physical effects, it's like he can't run as much and he's out of breath sooner, and it's just like, that's what's fucking happening to me. But again, yeah, you the audience can see it. It's more so him discovering it with his own body, it happening in his own body. Yeah.
And then the soft toy that young Marcel's got is the sister, Fallon, and
and Laios's initial thing is like, oh, you're scared of death. Very fucking logical. It's like, no, you're scared of death of other people. That's a little.
And you're getting clues of this in the paintings, which is in the library they're running
Yes.
through.
Yeah.
So unlike Leos, Marcel has an imagination, and so therefore
Leos is blank fucking empty space. Like, yeah, she's been around for a while and she's read probably every fucking book in this library is the implication, yeah. So filled with thoughts, unlike Leos's dumb fucking blank canvas of a painting. Yeah.
And so and she manages to defeat it by summoning the Sorcerer's Spellbook. And the way you use the Sorcerer's Spellbook is to bash monsters in the head with it.
Like Leos is like, what's
it's
the
an
thing you
academic
want?
tome.
What do you know?
Very happy.
Use what, like, as he's trying to use what he knows, like, it's a worm, which means it works under this condition. It's like, no, you know what this is. This is your fear. How would you defeat it? It's like, I would have the spellbook, and it's like, so she receives the spellbook and bashing it in the head with it, or whatever you can call it. He's like,
usually her go-to is just like, monster, fireball.
So yeah, bashing it with a spell is literally what she
nature.
does. He's like, okay, I mean, if it works, it works. A win's a win.
And then we discover that the nightmares are mollusks, which climb into your pillowcases when you're in a dungeon.
Yeah, to give you badness that they can feed on. They are a kind of dragon. Because dragons are fucking weird. Some dragons are mollusks. What can I fucking say?
They taste pretty good. Tastes pretty good steamed up.
He says they're like a dragon, and if you look at them closely, you can see that. And I'm looking at them, and I do not see it, Lars.
I guess
you can see it. That's what's important. Yeah.
The antennae could be like the horns, but
is it like the antennas, the horns, and the shell is like the scales, but they only got like 2 fucking scales because it's a fucking shellfish. But and he's then essentially, could you cook these? It's like absolutely. Steamed butter, fucking no bother. And actually, that releases the pleasant dream that Marcel had. It's like, oh, that's lovely.
I had a cool dream where I was in the library. I had my doll and had a dog, and we were kind of running around. And I got a great book. It was awesome. It's like, oh wow, this is a nice dream. So it's like,
while everyone else is laughing at the dog.
and him, Elias kind of going, like, I'm going with like
I was cooler than that. Like, I was a wolf.
Like a wolf or a wolfhound or something like that. And it's like, you've made me some sort of palm fucking mix there. I don't know what the fuck. All right.
He just wants to be a dog, as we know from the previous episode. Yeah, this was some great writing. Absolutely fantastic storytelling. And obviously, I think it helps in terms of turning it into anime. It helps that the manga's finished, so they know where everything's going.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, it's like, it's keeping on a thing where, like, they've all come to this dungeon to try and, like, kind of fix something about themselves, really. Like, Laios came down to rescue his sister, but, like, the rest of them followed him to help her, but also they're in this one to begin with because they want some kind of answer to something that's bugging them personally. So they got now Izusumi in the mix as well. And, well, for someone who haven't gotten around to yet, even just even the most sensible ones, they've also got some, like, lingering thing that they're trying to stay in the dungeon to try and fix as well. So, but that'll probably, let's see how much we know. No, we'll get to that bit now in the next little while, actually. Again, it's a bit I'm pretty sure they're going to finish off on because it's a good kind of.
It'd be a good like.
It'd be a good. It's a good, we'll say, cathartic moment for one of the characters in there.
Yeah.
Next up, it is Windbreaker, episode 6, Vow to Follow, in which we get the inevitable downstep in animation quality.
I like the story stuff, but I mean, like some of the fire shots of the fighting looks nice. But yeah, I get what you mean.
It's there, like, this isn't there in one sort of long, unbroken kind of sequence. Like it was that first episode, where it's just like they're slugging, going balls out.
Dodgy proportions, and then in the flashback, particular, there's some stuff which looks like we didn't have time to finish this.
Well, it's difficult as well because, like, these are the younger versions of Hiragi and Sako, so we got like from Nabi just with that. Obviously, he's bleaching his hair because he's the link up with a heart of gold now. I was figuring as well for a while. Well, if we're doing this kind of competition, it's just like, well, this must be they've won the first 2 both for now. This must be in the one that they lose somehow. It's like, but he's like, one of like the top four, one of the four pillars of the fucking organization.
But the other guy, that's one of their top 5 guys, as they keep saying. I was like, well, he hasn't fucking done anything yet. So
No,
I
I
don't
think they're just going to get stomped into the ground.
Stop beat the shit like fuck up. And so I get a little less interested then. It's just like, okay, well, these dudes actually aren't your rivals after all because you were just knocking the shite out of them. So now I can see Sakura getting beaten by Joe Tagame next time because he's kind of putting in his place about these notions he has about it. Like, but so they'll scrape back some dignity. And then the last one probably ended a draw. But yeah, these fucking like these dudes are kind of crap.
Well, the thing about them is, right, as soon as one of them loses a fight, they're kicked out. And as friggin' Sakura keeps saying, is like, I want to fight you and you and you, to all his own fucking guys. So just like that would make him stronger or them stronger, or the idea that he would learn something from that or they'd learn something from that and be a better fighter at the end of it. Whereas these guys, as soon as they lose one, you're out. Bye. It's like, so you can't fucking improve. Like there's no leveling up. You're either already strong or you're fucked. And even the strong guys are getting like kicked out of the organization like immediately.
The fucking like the fun detente you had was the best thing that ever happened to you, lads. Because what's risen up, in the meantime is like, isn't obviously that's the kind of thing to stress. It wasn't the patch on the gang it was before, but no, now he's got someone else came on, took it over, and I guess like because it just never kind of crossed over at all. It was just like, oh, you literally became the biggest fish, not even in a small pond, in a section of the small pond that we're all a part of. You became like the big carp in that, and that's it.
Maybe they just drew the line of the tracks. It was like, it's not the bad side of the tracks. It's just that we'd spread ourselves too thin if we went over the tracks as well. So we just like, there's only so much we can do.
Yeah, I assume the point of this arc is to establish our heroes as the tough guys they say they are.
Yeah.
But also to figure out what's wrong with that little guy who's in charge of this other gang, because there's something wrong about him, and we've had our main boss of our crew acknowledge there's something wrong about him, but we don't know what's
like essentially
happened to
like
him to make
pity
it this
him.
way.
Essentially, is like, I see you've beaten several of my own guys on the way to my school. Well, we can't be having that now, can we? It's not like he's not getting mad about it. He's just like, come on, cop on a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm wondering if the tall guy with the glasses is kicking people out of the group for their own safety.
Yeah, like, is he maintaining this fucking power level structure? Because it's like, because man's like, I want to fight him next. He's like, next in the fucking listing of fights that I have totally written down is, and Sakura kind of going like, it's me because I'm a first year. It's been first year fight. So obviously we're going to do the first year fight, then the second strongest guy in our school, and then the first strongest. That's obviously how it's going to go. It's like, nope. Our second in command gets called out.
I get that kind of story of that. So that's you say like, if Joe Tagame's trying to kick him out, like, maybe that's kind of a reflection of what's going on here, because Hiragi and Saka, they go back a long way. They're in primary school together. He was always like saving him from bullies and one saying, "Oh, I'll teach you how to try to throw a punch," and I always followed after you, Hiragi. You're like a big brother I never had, and kind of ways. And they're starting high school. It's just like, look, I'm starting here. Like, it's going to be a tough school. You wouldn't last a minute in there. You better not follow me. So it's like, but, no, you gotta find your own dreams, kid.
But it's also the thing of your man saying is like, I will follow you forever. I will always be your follower. And he's like, okay, like, I'm gonna follow like a different guy when I go to high school because I'm gonna put my lot in with him because he seems cool. Like, so I'm never gonna hit the top spot because I'm gonna support the guy who's gonna hit the top spot. And it's like, but you're number one in my heart. Come on, you gotta. And it's the idea that he's fighting him because he didn't live up to his expectations. It's like, I have improved and you've remained stagnant. And it's like, if he has, he's still really fucking good at fighting.
Yes.
He's remained at the level of very good.
Well, yes, because the other guy doesn't realize that friendship makes you an even stronger fighter. This is the lesson that Sakura is having to learn.
So when he does land a decent hit on him and knocks him down, Sakura
it is
kind of
good
like,
that
get up, you bum! I want to fight you.
You could have somebody lovingly knocked unconscious by being punched in the solar plexus.
They even fucking say honky at one stage in this. I was just like, fucking, oh man.
Can't escape it.
Yeah.
Ate your lunch there. Oh.
Really fucking did. Dear.
Yeah, these are the real hunky people. Unlike the people in Astro Note, episode 6, still no episode titles. In which
Not even
the first
aliens, some
half
of them.
feels like a parody of Tenchi Muo.
Oh, it's such a good parody of that and that kind of shit. It's I love it.
As it wasn't teleporting in; it is a holographic letter.
Like one tries to go, it's a video call for my mother, and the dog's like, please don't tell anyone about this. It's just like,
oh, like no,
can't help it, dog.
here's going to relay my backstory about how I arrived in this planet. No, oh man, you're probably insulting me right now. I'll let that one slide, but please let me go on.
The fact that she knows what her daughter's saying like every time, and is still continuing on with her story, and yet they're still commenting on the story, and the dog's like, can't be saying that about your mother. Your mother's the queen, and it's like, yeah. I, as you know, I am ad-libbing and fucking adding my own veneer of fucking romance to this whole situation. Because I was like, she crashed in World War II in a bombing fucking raid while this guy was some sort of soldier type thing. And I was like, so he must have thought she was like a foreign fucking, like an American pilot that crash landed or something, right? Because she's in the flight suit and everything.
Yeah.
But he's like, cool, I'll tend to you to make you fall in love with me with things. And no, he just had pointy ears, wasn't an alien. He's just a weird looking guy.
Very rectangular head, very boxy head in him.
I mean, that's bad on us. But when they're presented beside each other, they both have fucking pointy ears. So I'm not entirely like, it's like a Vulcan found the most pointy eared fucking human possible is what the situation happened here.
Oh yes.
Also we do this conversation and the commentary going on because she has accounted for some of the commentary, but not the commentary of why is my mother using a really old avatar of herself to make herself look younger in this
in this video call. Yeah.
But then the hubbies try and steal the message because she's about to reveal where the key is. And then it ends up in the curry.
I like the fact they're chasing it around. It's like, where the fuck is it gone? And Amira has the sense to go, shh. And then they can hear her mother monologuing from the press. And it's just like, oh, fuck, there it is. Because the video hasn't stopped this entire chase. It's and that swaying back and forth as an octopus runs down the fucking corridor with it. I was like, this is all very good.
Good sound
at the
design,
end, with the T2 parody of the mum's holographic hand giving a
It's an entirely very funny bit of exposition. Great fucking job overall.
And the one fucking meal that Tomohiro, the fucking unemployed dad, does know how to make it, they blow it up. I was helping.
Because they run into the kitchen. It's like, hey, what are you doing? It's like, I'm making curry. I was taught by the old landlord how to make curry because the kid wanted it, And it's like, actually, I gotta go take a shit. Would you fucking stir the curry for a minute? It's like, just keep it stirring. Don't let it boil over. You know how to fucking do it. It's cool. And Mira's like, cool. And he comes back to curry exploded in his face, and it's like, right, I should have fucking kind of expected that, I guess.
This is why I don't try.
So he spent about 10 minutes on that. It's amazing.
So good.
And then they ask Takubi if he's okay with this revelation that we're aliens. My mum's an alien, the dog's an alien, it can talk.
But that's human, though.
He claims that he is okay with this, and then the rest of the episode is it being evident that he is not okay with this.
The initial thing of him thinking is like, wait a minute, so it wasn't a love hotel. She's not fucking the guy. She's not a widow, so for some reason that's better.
And voice of her wasn't a talking man; it was just a talking dog.
It was a dog, so that's not. So the love interests aren't the fucking thing, and it's not a hobby. It's not. So she's not gonna fuck a dog. So I'm in with a shot, and then she's like, but that guy is her childhood friend who is the same alien as her. Shit, that still fucks me up. It's basically him kind of going like, oh, I'm fucking okay, and then he's like, no, I'm not fucking okay. Actually, now that I think
I'm gonna go and buy a load of octopus again.
Apparently,
just to get out of this conversation with the Osaka old woman again. It's like, oh, don't ask me questions about that. Yeah, that showy and ginger fun. He's like, no, he's a pretty happening dude, rich, handsome, from England. He's got it all.
Pretty cool. And it's like, he's none of those things. It's like, all right, what does he saw? And he's like, I am under secrecy to tell. I will stress buy too many tentacled foods. That seems to be what he does. So far, that's what he's done anyway.
You okay? You're talking about hanging out on the octopus there. It's like, I'm fine. I'm good.
Meanwhile, Mira is going around town learning more about her dad.
I like the conversation because it's like a lot of it's like, oh, he was a kind man. No one has a bad word to say to him. It's like, I'll say a bad word against him. He was still beating me in shogi. I'll say a bad word against him. He was a fucking skirt chaser, man. He put out his back fucking like trying to princess carry the ladies in a fucking hostess club. And it's like, so he was a creep. It's like, no, I mean, he was a guy. He was a guy with all
he was
different.
A real character. A bit of a laugh, one of those. That's.
But it's the idea that like he let loads of people stay in the house because he was just like, oh, you're down on your luck, and lots of people still send him fucking food to this day, even though they know he's fucking dead. They're just like, yeah, but we're gonna pay it forward now that I'm successful because he took me in when I'd fucking nothing. It's that he was a human with all the complicated fucking things about that, good and bad.
Yeah. And every so often he'd go out and see if Mira's mum would come back.
He was waiting for her the whole time.
Oh. And like with the one Tenchi Moyo thing, had some convoluted reason why fucking Tenchi's granddad, despite being of like alien royalty, he got super old, and everyone like back on the home planet, to stay the same age. And it was some weird thing about they wasn't part of the planet's life force. We got old, rather than just be it's like time dilation. It's like 1 year on Earth is like, or 1 year on our planet is like 3 years on Earth or more than that.
Which is what they do here. Yeah,
that makes sense. You just do that. Then we had so much kind of weird shit about fucking like marrying your cousin who's 500 years older than you, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I think that's a feature, not a bug in Tenchi-Muyo, though.
Yeah.
Dear.
1,000-year-old loli.
So then we get the dog trying to sort out Takumi's love life by giving the waitress a pep talk from behind the door, so she doesn't realize.
Does he think that the waitress thinks that that's her inner voice? The dog is her inner voice because he keeps like going like, "You should do this." And it's just like, and she's just like, "Should I?" Like, or does she think there's a guy in the next room telling her what to do? I'm not sure what it is from her perspective.
Or a ghost, she's already like the center of a ghosty rumor.
It's true. It could be that as
well.
They
do exist.
It's probably the talking dog is telling me what to do. So yeah.
So next week they'll go out on a date to the insect festival.
I love that the dog was kind of like wagging his tail. It's like, oh fuck, she's giving her a shot. It's like, no, fucking go for it. It's perfect. He's drawing too many octopus. It's the perfect time to fucking ambush him. It's like, hey, you want to go to the insect eating festival? He's like, you fucking idiot, you fucked it up. And he's like, oh wow, I've been looking forward to that. And he's like, shit, I did it. I'm a genius.
I did have that little bit of thing you mentioned there, because like, he's just like, just kind of dares everyone saying she's going for it. And he's like, now it's okay. I thought you keep saying you just look at the dog. You're actually one of fun, saying, yeah, I'm not a dog. I'm not no dog quiet. I just look like one. Yeah, that's it. It's like, yeah.
Like him actually doing the dog mannerisms, not on purpose.
If you're the same planet, what's your deal? And like, if only it's like, are all the men like he? Because obviously not. We've seen Joey and Ginger. So what happened to you? Bad haircut?
I'm a space dog. It's different.
Yeah, I just maybe he's from a different planet.
He's from the South planet, Wade, where they're all dogs.
It's like how the Shi'ar Imperial Guard have got a real cross.
They're showing their multiculturalism by all the guys being in charge, bird people, and every one of their army being a different weirdo. It's just like, there you go. Multiculturalism is like, is it multiculturalism though? Yeah. The dog is a servant class and not fucking royalty. I don't fucking know.
Found these, found these in the gutter of planet Zanon.
Because of the way, I don't think they'll do it, but I was half thinking, are they going to show that the dog is also from Earth and he's just a regular dog who they raised to be like a fucking super, like the mother raised the dog or something. I don't fucking know.
He came down with Mira, so. Also, like, the guys are fun saying, Mira, how old the fucking you then? But she's obviously just with the time dilation, similar age to talk to me. So
yeah, and obviously Mira's now got the thing of like learning more about Earth culture and learning that she's half human. It's
actually I like Blu-rays. Actually, I want to stay much more Blu-rays.
yeah, it's like, will she want to go back and become the leader, even when she finds this key, which we now know is in the yard, somewhere in the yard.
And it is the thing, like with her mom, who was just like, I am clearly enamored with Earth culture to the point where you could track me monologuing about it while an octopus ran away with my hologram, talking about all the different food, like eggs and rice on eggs and eggs on rice, and just
Mars
like
bars.
Yes.
What
Good
a
shit.
days.
Yes, it's clearly like really hammering home the mirror between Mira and Takumi and the mum and the former.
And I know it's related to, it's often related to like Japanese food, but like this and Dragon Ball and a few other things make me think is like the thing that Earth has that no other place in the universe has is like amazing selection of food. It's just really a smorgasbord. We invented the word smorgasbord.
Fried pork rice or pork fried rice mostly is what seems to do it. Get it over the
Yeah.
line.
Just also, you got to think about the poor writers if they had to invent another planet which had a much more diverse set of food than Earth. It's a lot of work.
Okay, slow
it's a kind
down
of
there,
world
little
building.
Gwen.
Yeah. And I was thinking like the thing with Delicious in Dungeon is they're just making regular food, but made out of monsters. So
Yes.
it's not
Basilisk
inventing anything new.
egg, chicken egg. It's the same in the end. Come on.
Yes.
But I'm guessing they're using the knowledge that it's a snake egg and therefore it's more wobbly and has a different function. Because someone has definitely cooked with snake eggs at some fucking point. That's got to be true.
It's got a very rich yolk. It's very, very bright and orange. Made for a good omelet, that one, then.
Yeah. Oysters are really similar to dragons. Um,
Sure.
Well, I know, at a distance, if you squint your eyes, you can see that they're the exact same.
I think that's everything. Oh, there was one thing I forgot to write down that I watched, which was the first episode of Time Patrol Bomb.
Oh shit! I knew there was
Oh
something else
yeah, I
meant to
watched that as
watch.
well. Yeah.
Oh, talk
It's
away about it. Then. Yeah.
it's a little bit too slow for me. But I kind of liked it, but I came out the end of it thinking, which was kind of what I thought about Sword of the Strangers. I think Ando's direction is just a little bit too slow for my tastes.
It needs something a bit more. Right, this can have like plenty of pace to it, and he can do pace. It's just doesn't seem to get because he's mostly been doing a lot of this like more, I'd say, dramatic fare. Let's say last decade or whatever it was. I appreciate that the child gets pushed out a window and lands in the road, and they don't cut away from any of that. From like he gets pushed out a window from like 5 stories up. That's only one way that ends, and they don't hold back on it.
Yes.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah.
A child dies in a piece of absurd slapstick.
Okay.
And then there's all sorts of times machine stuff. It leads to the friend who accidentally pushed the boy off the balcony, leading to his death. They're trying to fix the death of the child because he is of no relevance in the future, so therefore he can live. His death is not important. But because Bon, our hero, has discovered the existence of the Time Patrol, we're going to have to go back in time and make sure your parents don't have you as a child.
Or
fucking hell.
Or you can join the Time Patrol and smooth this all over.
Yes, because it turns out you are more important than when we first checked the database. So we can't erase you. You'll have to join the team.
So even then, the database is fucking either bad or that they're bad at checking it is a plot thing from the get-go, since they realize, wait a minute, he is important. We can't just erase his fucking existence rather than Men in Black fucking erase his memory.
Yeah, maybe there's just a lot of setup in the first episode.
Maybe,
It introduces like all the cast, I think, and I'm not sure all of them are going to be important straight away. Like because Bond's thing is, I'm the most average kid at school. I'm the most average teenager they possibly can be. I always get 50% in my tests. I never stand out in the crowd. And now I'm in the Time Patrol. But there's another girl who's like, she's the best. She's aces. She's fantastic at tennis. And I believe she'll be an important character later on, that they go out of the way of introducing her.
Yeah.
Just establishing her in the first one. Yeah, that might slow it down a bit.
It came alive a little bit when he's like briefly in fucking the fucking Sengoku Jedi, and like, you know, and it's just like Bandit is cutting down like, you know, the fleeing like villagers, and it's just like, oh yeah, those are the whole back there. You see him, the villagers get cut down. He's robbing her money. It's like, okay, so like, now we know he's good at that kind of thing. So if you got other time periods you can kind of mess around in, it might put a bit of like get up and go into it.
Yeah,
Okay.
the storytelling is good because it's Fujiko Fujio, and he's a good science fiction writer, and it's got the thing of like we're going on the school trip. There's this big cut down tree. It was 800 years old, and that's your indicator to Bond later when he's travelled back in time. Is like, oh, that stump's not there. There is now a tree there of size,
Moderate size.
yes, I can tell that I have travelled back in time. And,
What's that film that did the tree, the cut tree, where it's like, I'm from this time, like that kind of shit. Like they pointed along the time of the lineage of the tree, because I feel like that's an old metaphor for time travel cinematically, and I can't think of the fucking name of the film. That's kind of bugged. It's a French film, I think. I think it might be one of them photo films as well. I can't think of the fucking name of it.
Oh, I thought like time travel French. I thought légèreté.
Oh fuck, maybe it is. Yeah. Anyway, doesn't matter. I was just thinking, is that the kind of visual they're going for with the tree trunk?
Yeah.
But then you said it's like, no, it's literally the tree they're using as a metric. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder whether that's just going to for this first story to set up to introduce the time.
Yeah.
Travel aspect, which they time travel on rockets powered with turbines on the back.
Sweet back.
Because our main heroine is a time patrol member called Ream Stream.
Is she named for what she does?
There's like a weird yellow ghost.
Ghost Starman, Jellyfish floating UFO, adorable mascot character who's like gets very ornery.
Bond bumps into at one point and it pauses, looks at him, and then goes nah, and wanders off. Which I assume that's within this current time period. It's time travel, so possibly they can bump into each other at different points in time. But yeah, there's 2 seasons of this. The comic came out in 3 lumps. I think the first 2 lumps ran in for younger readers, and then the last one was for older readers. Which is why I think people are surprised when they go and watch it and think, this turns out not to be for little kids, even though it says it's a 15 certificate on Netflix, and does give you warnings about suicide, which is not in the first episode, so I don't know when that's coming up.
Who's to say?
But yes, as Niall pointed out, it does have the Gachi gorilla character die in the first episode.
You got better.
Yeah.
But he's fine now. And what are you talking about, Bond? He didn't fall out the window. You've been studying too hard.
You've been studying exactly 50%.
Yeah, well, because that's what the Gachi gorilla character is worried about. You see, he's worried about, he wants Bond to stick around and play with him, because the longer Bond sticks around, that's the longer it is before he has to reveal to his mum that he got 0 out of 100.
Okay. All right.
Talking about it, I'm warming up to it, so I probably watch the next episode for next week.
Yeah, maybe like you say, it wasn't the strongest like establishing episode, because it's just trying to cram in. It's like, this character would be important, not now, not this episode. That's for later plots. Like, yeah.
So that's it for now.
That's enough.
Adios.
Get out of here. Please come.